So then Yuri leaves, and then
we see Joe like lose his shit right there. Like up to this point, he's been like composed like badass, but he actually sounded like a little bitch here.
It was fucking.
Come back.
I have some.
Come back.
Some pet peeves
Come
about
fight me.
Some pet peeves about this.
Come.
One is just
come back.
Shut the fuck up.
Ross was sake of going live. We'll just have to see if that's actually true. Mitch looks very angelic with the heavenly rays coming through the window.
I got my window open.
I kept mine closed this week because last week I saw that it was like a super bright white background, and then every now and then you could see my face.
Well, let me see if it looks better with it closed.
You kept the blinds closed, and you kept the towel hanging.
Towel on.
Now I just look fucking white. I just look like the ghost of fucking Christmas past, dude.
Ghost of Sparta, Mitch. You got a sword and everything.
I actually think that looks better, Mitch.
I don't.
All right, then let the gods rays into your room.
Yeah.
No, dude.
Let everyone know who was chosen.
You decide.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, speaking
Are we live, by the way?
I don't know.
Yep.
But speaking of decisions,
I was able to pull it up on my phone.
We had to pick another show to go over, and I believe this was Yusuf's pick, right?
Itadakimasu.
So is there a exclusive reason why you chose Megalobox?
Yeah, Megalobox. Honestly, there's a lot of anime out there that feature sports like soccer and swimming and volleyball and shit. Boxing isn't one that I normally would think of right away, and I think this one is kind of underrated. But when it came out in 2018, 4 years ago, I really enjoyed it. Recommended it to a couple people. They really liked it, and I wanted to give you guys a chance to watch it too. I mean, Trav already saw it, so he's on his second playthrough with me. But
yeah, from your recommendation, I believe.
Yeah, and I never watched season 2, so look into the future. We're gonna do the whole.
That one's called Nomad, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like it's taking place after the main story here, but that's a couple episodes deep. So for now, we're going to be talking about episodes 1 through 6. Not with our norm of normally 4, but we figured we can see if we can crank this one out a little bit faster than Noragami and Jujutsu Kaisen. We'll see how this rolls.
Yeah, this one's really different than the ones we've covered. So, like, just right away, I know we were talking about it a bit before we started streaming, but it's like your guys' first impressions. Like, what did you think about the art style
or
like
expectations of coming into the show?
Exactly.
So my expectations for the show very high because obviously Yusuf has been hyping it up since it came out, since he watched it first. I love the aesthetic. I love that. Not like when I first started watching anime, I hated it. I was like, ew, gross. It's from the 90s. It looks like shit. But now I'm like this, like it's so refreshing to watch something that looks with this 90s aesthetic and this grungy feel and this like grungy post-apocalyptic undertone to this whole area. I love the vibe of the world. I love the vibe of the art style. I just love the whole feel and the aesthetic of the show a lot. So,
yeah, I would basically just echo exactly what Mitch said for the most part. And I also really liked a lot of the music that was in the show as well. I think it really set the mood really well.
Yeah, dude, the music in this show is really nice. It really gets the mood going. All the shit when they're like in the ring, that dum 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 dun, 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 dun. Dude, that's something. That track is so good.
That's something I thought of while I was watching it because I vividly remember you guys were watching this as it was airing, and that's what all you guys talked about was how good the music was in the show, and I was like, okay, I guess I just never watched it. So have you guys? Did you guys also hype up Hajime no Ippo too? Did you guys watch that together and hype that one up too? No,
I don't know what that is.
Because Hajime no Ippo is like the other like This and Hajime no Ippo were like the two boxing anime
ones.
that
I
everyone.
think I've seen clips of that one. Then that one's like
Yeah.
very shaded. I think.
Yeah, it's made. It was made in the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen like clips of it, and it looks really cool. But this is like I think the only boxing anime I've really watched.
Okay. It's only the second sports anime I've ever watched.
Was the other one? Was it Haiku?
Haikyuu, and Haikyuu's fucking amazing. Fucking amazing.
Ah, nice.
Top
Nice.
5.
I gotta say, in terms of like the soundtrack, I remember always skipping the intro because I just wasn't interested in it, and I found
like
it. Yeah, same here. It's just like
Mhm.
I listened to it for like 5 seconds. I was like, oh yeah, that's why I didn't listen to it again.
I didn't. Go. Sorry, Josh. Go for it.
No, I was just gonna say I'm not super. It's not like other anime intros or openings, I guess, that like I want to jam out to the song. So not only was I not super interested in that, and also after I watched the actual, I guess, animation or whatever you want to say, like the actual scenes of the opening, I was just confused. And like maybe by the time that the season is done, what they show will make sense. But seeing like a bunch of wolves and shit, I was just like,
Well, the dog is because his name is Junk Dog or whatever.
Well, and if you notice too, the like Junk Dog has the same scars as we figure out later in the show. He decides his name is Joe, which we'll just refer to it right now so we don't keep flipping it up. So our main protagonist for the background of this episode, this is Joe. Originally starts the show calling himself Junk Dog in the ring.
He also calls himself like a stray dog too.
Yeah,
so it's all like just his dog.
So the intro with the dog in the intro is just a bunch of symbolism.
Yeah, and he has the same exact scars as Joe here. So it's
if
just supposed to represent him.
If I'm being honest, I didn't put that together. I was just confused.
Yeah.
I figured there was some symbolism there, but I watched it for the first time. I was like, I don't get it. And so then I was just trying to be, what's the word? Trying to fit it into the time that I had. So I was just skipping the opening every other time.
I watched the intro the first time because you always watch the intro the first time, and then I was like, "Yeah, this is not for me," so I skipped it. The outro, though, I love the outro.
Was it good? Because I didn't watch it. I just kind of
4, 2, 8. Like they just say a bunch of random numbers. And the song goes really good.
It's just like Mob Psycho's intro where they count up to 100.
That's cool.
No, but this one they go like 1, 4, 8, 3, 6, 2, 5. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
I find nothing wrong with that map.
I skipped the intro, just like Trav. I didn't like it the first time, and I listened to it like for like 10 seconds, and I'm like, yeah, no. But I got like the dog reference. I didn't even notice the scars. So I think that's the cool detail that they added. And I just skipped the outro altogether. But between the two, I definitely favor the outro.
This time I made sure to actually look for like an outro scene, but it seems like this is a show that has pretty much everything within like, the start, and then when it ends. There's no other BS.
I'm pretty sure that they do like on the next episode thing, right?
I don't know. I don't think I saw that. I think it just rolls the outro and it just goes. I'm assuming it might show like a flash of what the next episode's called, but nothing else.
The only thing I do like with the intro part is that after like the actual intro song, they have just that brief frame from something that happens.
Something important in the episode.
And it has like the kind of
always froze me off.
Yeah,
makes me feel like we're already in an intermission. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
How far are we in this episode? What happened?
Yeah.
So I usually skip it though.
Yeah.
Let's get this.
Maybe we should just
rolling.
jump into what went on. It's like right away in the first episode, it starts off with just like this stereotypical like philosophical monologue from our character, and we were like, we don't know what's happening. He's talking about like, you're gonna fight or you're gonna die. You're gonna sit, you're gonna stand. And then he just proceeds to just ride his fucking motorcycle off a cliff.
Yeah. Or die. Or die.
Yeah. So it's definitely two extremes there. But that's all we got from him in the very beginning. But then it cuts to like
he was like, you can fight or you can die. You can crawl you out of this place or you can stay here. I have done neither of those yet. Goes off a fucking cliff. What the fuck?
It seems like every title of the episodes has some sort of like They
Death.
fit the word death in there every single time. So that's kind of like his big thing, you know? He has to pretty much find a reason to live.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, his only drive is getting his bike fixed after crashing it and then eating some like fucking almond nuts in the mechanic shop. Just keeps casually throwing them in the air.
Yeah, he's pretty good at catching shit with his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hey, yo.
what?
Yeah, those fists.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then we get like a as if the name of the show wasn't enough. We get pretty much like the plot like set out for us really clearly. Like there's this TV broadcast going on by this like organization called the Shirato Group, and there's this boxing tournament or sport that's called Megalobox, which is like you have your normal boxing component, but then you also have like this like mechanical technology that people use either like strengthen their punch or give them more endurance or whatever. And so that's called Megalobox. And there's this event going on called Megalonia, and it's setting up so it's like this massive tournament from anyone that is going to anyone that's like a citizen. I don't know why Mitch is like laughing right now.
No, I'm just
like,
thinking of I'm thinking of what I was thinking about while I was watching this.
Oh, okay. Anyone can participate, any citizen, which is like an issue for Joe because he's like,
because the
I'm not a
setting of this
citizen.
world is that you have the big grand city with all the, you know, more well-off people, and then you have our hero setting, which is the slums, where
on the other side of the track,
where they're not considered citizens. They've pretty much outcasts, and you know, anyone there can't participate in this giant event because they don't have actual IDs. They're not considered people by the city.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your setting for you.
Yeah, so the timeline's like 3 months until this massive event. Only the top best four around the world will actually compete to be like the best.
Yeah,
and
I thought it was really weird that like only 4 are going to compete.
Yeah.
And we already have 2 of them picked out. It's like,
Yep.
Excuse me, what?
And yeah,
so only 2 other people.
Did they announce this earlier, or was this like the first time they ever announced a tournament?
It's the first time they announced a tournment, and they're like,
okay,
yeah,
so
by the way, we also have 2 of them picked out.
So there's only 2 slots, bitches. You have 3 months to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that kind of an ass poll?
Yeah.
But I guess most of the stuff in the city is rigged.
And what doesn't make sense to me too, like because the 2 people they have picked out automatically are the number 1 ranked boxer in the world and the number 2 ranked boxer in the world. They eventually, spoilers, they eventually get the number 3 ranked boxer in the world. Why the fuck do they not just do 1, 2, 3, 4 and have that be the tournament?
Right.
Because Joe's got to climb his way up. That's why
they want to make it seem achievable, so that way the hype builds up.
They have to waste time somehow. They have to build the dome still.
True. Yeah. They announced the tournament and say we're gonna build this massive, huge fucking dome in 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're finishing repairs on this, but you know, we could have announced this, you know, when we started this whole shit, but we're just gonna wait until like the last quarter of this bitch is almost done. So initially, Joe, go ahead, Josh.
I was just gonna say, I don't think that there's gonna be a better time for me to say it, but again, admittedly, I did not research this or look into this whatsoever before I pressed play on the first episode. So all of a sudden, within the first 5 minutes,
the fuck's wrong with you?
So within the first 5 minutes, I was like, oh, oh, it's boxing. Oh,
you didn't know this was a boxing anime?
No, I didn't know. I had no idea.
for the
Dude,
anime.
The thumbnail is him going like this with boxing gloves.
Okay, that was literally as I was pressing play on the fucking show, my guy.
God damn it, Josh.
Wow.
I didn't put it together until I was literally starting to watch it because now I can't unsee it. Now it makes sense to have box in the title, but like with the name Megalobox at first, I was literally like, I had no idea what this show was about.
That would have been hilarious if Josh thought this was like a golfing anime or some shit.
Oh no!
I didn't think it was that. I just had no idea what it was.
He thought it was an anime about movers moving boxes out of people's houses.
Wow, where are they taking these boxes to, Megalo? Who the hell's Megalo?
Hey, you
It's
never
a
know.
slice of life, dude. We live in the
Yeah.
fucking packaging industry.
Packaging company.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
So, and
Daily life of an Amazon worker.
moving on, Joe initially shows like no interest in the whole boxing tournament because, you know, he's in the slums and obviously can't participate in it. All he wants to do is just, I guess, make money. I don't know.
Yeah, so he's an underground boxer pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
he has confidence in what he can do. He thinks he's good at it. I mean, more or less, he's good at it. He can wipe anyone, but he has an asshat manager that sets up the fights and then kind of tilts the bidding in a way where they make money, but
They throw the fights. So like,
Yeah.
he'll hype up Joe and he'll hype up the other. He'll manipulate the betting pool so where that people bet against Joe or bet for Joe, and then Joe will throw the fight and they'll take home all the money from it.
Yeah, they usually bet against Joe, and then Joe like hypes himself up in the ring, so then everyone bets against him, and then they take home the profits because the leaders of whatever the betting ring, they're pretty much the ones pulling the strings and telling Joe's manager, you know, how they want the fight to be thrown. So that way Joe doesn't lose too much face, but at the same time they're maximizing their profits.
Can I just say too, what I was laughing at first, we were talking about the concept of megaloboxing. The entire time I was watching like Joe's first fight, I was like, motherfucker would die if he got punched in the face by that mechanical arm. I was like, how are these people alive, dude?
They're
There's
just
like a fucking rocket powered arm punching him in the head over it. Like, I was like, what is going on, dude?
They have boxing gloves on, so it doesn't hurt so bad.
Yeah, come on. You don't know how soft those Megalobox boxing gloves are.
Bro, I was like, people go brain dead from 5 years of normal boxing.
Regular boxing, yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
They're just built different. You don't know what they have implanted in their head.
Yeah, I don't know how he loses every fight, yet people still bet on him to an extent.
Well, they treat him like the underdog, you know. So everyone loves an underdog story.
I don't think people bet on him. I think people bet against him, don't they?
No, what they do is that
initially they do.
Yes, they bet against Joe, but then he starts showing off like his skill and stuff, and then everyone's just like, "Oh, it's time to, you know, there's still a chance for you to flip your bits." Like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm going for junk, dog, you know.
And then he
froze, and then bam, stocks.
Yeah. So like we got a shot at his gear. It's kind of just like these scraps put together.
It's literally nothing. It's ass.
Yeah, it's a junk dog.
Mm-hmm.
He's fighting like this one rando dude who has like a slow start ability, but he's just unloading on Joe, and then Joe like pulls an uppercut.
He was fighting Reggie Gigas, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. He's fighting Reggie Gigi. Yeah, and Joe gets pissed off. He's like, dude, I can fucking beat this guy. And then like right when Joe's getting pounded away on, he like goes for an uppercut and stops like right short of him. He's like,
that's when the bell hits, you know, saved by the bell.
Yeah, guy got saved by the bell. He's like, oh fuck, oh shit. And then, you know, next round starts, and then fucking Joe just takes the L.
Mm-hmm. Well, because do you know the name of the manager? Because I feel kind of weird calling him manager.
Nanbu.
Yeah.
Okay, so Handlebar Mustache comes in, and
why'd you ask?
Nanbu is so much easier to say than Handlebar Mustache. Dude.
Your reactions are more than
enough 5 syllables versus 2, dude.
Yeah,
so
you just call him Ambu Black Ops, and that'd be fucking.
So Ambu Black Ops Handlebar Mustache, you know, always takes the bet against Joe, and Joe is, you know, getting more and more frustrated because he knows he can do better and he can, you know, pretty much take out all the competition in the underground ring, but Ambu Black Ops Handlebar Mustache, you know, always rigs the fights against him, and if they go against what like the ringleaders, you know, say the outcome of the fight is, they're gonna get punished for it. Hence,
keep it together, Yusuf. Keep it together.
Oh, you good, dude? Did I go too fast for you?
Ambu black.
So the beginning, so pretty much the first episode is just describing how Joe is slowly getting more frustrated with, his position in life, and he wants to be able to show off and show what he's really made of.
It sets up the world and the plot, and then it gives a cliffhanger for the overarching rival at the end. Or that's episode 2.
Were we introduced to Yuri in the first episode? I don't remember.
We were. So after that fight, we get the kill shot with Joe. He's pissed, and all of a sudden his bike is fixed again. His Tron bike. We get this shot where he's just driving in the rain.
I do want to say I fucking love that aesthetic choice where the hub, the rear brake lights trail. I think it's so fucking cool.
Yeah. So he's a rule breaker, right? Trendsetter. So he's driving coincidentally on the bridge that's under construction for this big dome for that final fight. And we flash and we see actually the lady from the Shirato group over there.
Why is Trav laughing?
I don't know, dude. But she's there. She's actually talking with Yuri, which we find out she's sponsoring. And yeah, it's her boy toy. And she's like, yeah, we need you to win. We need you on that stage. We need you. I need your body.
Your body's the future of this company.
Your body belongs to me.
And then
he is
the whole
their
time
most valuable asset.
Owner.
Yeah, he keeps calling her owner.
Owner.
And then Joe is like, own this shit, bitch. And then he fucking just swerves at the last second, busts his bike again. That shit's fucking gone. I hope.
And then the shoe lady was just like, hey, I want to compliment you on your crash landing there. Here, take my card. And then Joe's just like, nah, I don't agree in business. Fuck that. Kicks it out of her hand with his hand. And then
he kicks it out of her hand with his hand.
Yeah. That's what I describe as a kick.
Just slaps it away.
Because now this is a kickboxing anime. Let's go, baby.
Kickboxing, yep.
But then Joe talks shit to the shoe lady, just like, is that real, Megalobox? You don't know shit about Megalobox. And then Yuri's like, leave her alone, man.
Hey, man, leave her alone.
Leave her alone. You're going to take that back right now.
You want me to take it back? Fucking square up, dude. Let's square up. Let's throw hands, dude. And then
show me what real megaloboxing is.
And then you see Yuri just pull his fists up faster than the droplets of water in the rain fell 2 centimeters. And Joe's like,
and at that moment, right when Yuri posed, time stopped for both of them, and they were both in that moment together in harmony.
Bro,
that's when the ship started.
Mm-hmm.
They've done this fucking scene with Yuri twice where he poses and his eyes get all big, and all I can fucking see is the abominable snowman from Monsters Inc. It's I'm just like,
dude, that snowman will mess you up, bro. You got metal arms.
He looks weird, man.
Yeah. So they're about to fight. Then owner's she calls off her dog.
Come here, boy. Come here.
Yep. And then Joe's like, yeah, you fucking bitch. You better go back.
Yeah, run away, you little bitch.
And that was it. And then it fast forwards to a new fight for Joe. He's like, we're gonna win this one, right? We're gonna win, right? And then the guy's like, yeah, no.
No.
Psych.
He's like, yeah, you're good. You're really good. You're better than these guys.
You're going to throw this fight again.
Yeah. And
let me just with Nanbu though, I knew from the first second I saw him that he was that stereotypical sleazebag with the heart of gold. Though I knew his character arc was gonna be, and he's already on that path.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it sums him up pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
But then the episode ends with Joe's opponent not showing up, but Yuri steps into the ring, just like, I believe we have unfinished business, Joseph.
He has this integrated gear where it's embedded in his skin or some shit.
They describe it as a second layer of skin. That's how connected it is to his body.
Yeah. And the manager's Anbu is like, no, dude, I want you to lose, but not this time. Let's just forfeit right now. It's fine.
You fight that dude, you're dead. Yeah, you're dead, bro.
And Joe's like, bitch, what? fucking backhands him, sends him out the ring. He's like,
Take this earpiece back, bitch. I gotta fight my boy.
Yeah, and it just ends on a cliffhanger, like they're about to fight.
Oh,
But
dude. Then they say the line, what was it? Yuri says, like,
I'll show you what.
why would you tell me your name?
Oh,
You
yeah.
probably don't want Jug Dog on a tombstone. Ha!
Oh, in the sub,
they don't give names to stray dogs.
in the sub, it was like, we don't want the name of the ring on your tombstone or some shit.
Something like Jug Dog not being good.
It was basically what Trav said. He's like, "Why don't you give me your name so they can put it on your tombstone? I can tell them. I can tell them what to put on your tombstone." And Joe's like, "They don't give tombstones to stray dogs.
They don't give tombstones to stray dogs." And dude, I love the shot. So episode 2 starts off right where it left off, and it starts the fight between Joe and Yuri. And goddamn, that's when like the soundtrack hits. You know, that dum 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 dum, and it's like it shows both shots of like Yuri and like Joe posing. I was like, damn, dude, this music fits so well with like the whole boxing aesthetic and like the whole like underground boxing shit. Like it just fits so well. And so they talk a little bit of shit back and forth, and you know, they start fighting, and Yuri shows that he has the upper hand because his second layer of skin pretty much gives him the reaction time, like, or his gear makes it so that his reaction time is like that, you know, he doesn't have to think, his body just usually moves on its own. So then knowing his ability, he taunts Joe, says like, I won't use my right arm, or I don't know which one he doesn't use, but he's like,
with my left hand.
He's like, I'm only gonna use his one arm and beat your ass. So it's pretty one-sided fight, but Joe eventually gets the upper hand, and then it seems like the cybernetics Yuri has just protects him with his other arm. So then they just say, all right, let's drop this handicap. I didn't want to use it to begin with. And then they fight again, and Yuri kicks the shit out of Joe.
Yeah.
And then Joe was like, I don't care if I die. You're going to keep fighting me. And then Yuri's like, next time, you're going to fight in my ring. I don't want to come back here. This place is gross. I think I stepped in something sticky. I don't know what, but it's just sticky. So then Yuri leaves, and then...
And we see Joe like lose his shit right there. Like up to this point, he's been like composed like badass, but he actually sounded like a little bitch here.
It was fucking.
Come back.
I have some.
Come back.
Some pet peeves
Come
about.
fight me.
Some pet peeves about this.
Come.
One is just.
Come back.
Shut the fuck up. One is just a pet peeve about like the way they animate the fights in total. I fucking hate it because I'm actually somewhat of a fan of boxing, so I hate it when they animate them running at the person like this, and he's just like sprinting like this. I'm like, what are you doing? You don't run in a boxing match, dude.
Dude, this isn't boxing. What are you talking about? This is Megalobox. It's different.
Hell yeah!
It's not just boxing with metal arms.
And then I hated Joe at the end of this fight where dude gets his fucking ass knocked out for 10 seconds. He gets up. He's like, I don't care that I lost. Get back in the ring and fight me, man. And Yuri's like, dude, I just fucking knocked you out. What are you talking about? I beat you.
No, my wrist was sore.
The manager's like, dude, you lost, dude. Like, you straight up lost. And he's like, I don't care. I'm not dead yet. You have to kill me to stop me. It's like, bro, relax. It's not that serious.
That's all Joe lives for, is that excitement, that rush that comes with fighting Yuri. And that's why he like always drives his bike like all everywhere at like fast speeds, because he's looking, you know, this guy's a complete like adrenaline junkie. You know, he needs to get his fix. He needs to find something that excites him, because his life aside from that is pretty dull.
But then in episode 3 or 4, when he gets his first real fight, he like almost shits his pants. He's scared.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that either. But
yeah, well, like after this fight with Yuri, we get the shot of that bike, because that shit's just fucking indestructible.
Yeah.
He like goes out to the middle of nowhere. He's like, all right, I gotta train. Just randomly starts Yep. And while he's shushing himself to sleep, it pans over the Yuri and his like estate or whatever. And then like that lady owner comes to him, and here she like straight up says, "What the fuck did you do? Why'd you fight without me, bitch?
Oh,
I
didn't
know
tell you to
you
do
went.
that.
I know you went to see him.
You
I'm
do what I tell
sorry,
you.
owner. It's
You do what
over.
you do what I tell you to do."
I'll never see him
Your
again.
body-
Our business has
body
now
is
been
mine.
concluded. Plus, I
Your
still have the
body
sticky
don't
stuff on my
hurt.
shoe. I still don't know what it is.
And he's like, "Okay."
What the fuck is happening?
He's like,
Yeah.
"Yes,
That's
mama."
that's how I react to all of that as well. It's just K.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, then
Yep.
what's next? Joe like has another underground fight, but he completely froze it because Yuri, before he left, said, "I want you to step into my ring," which pretty much saying, "Hey, you gotta come to Megalovania." So, that one sand song, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
So
That one.
so now his entire like world is now revolving around going to Megalovania and fighting Yuri in his ring and get his rematch.
This is in this episode, like episode 2.
This episode.
This
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, exactly, guys. We have like the little
This episode?
like the little hip hop rap.
This
Yeah,
episode.
thanks. The little hip hop rap verse, which I mean is like a little foreshadowing into the future of the episodes of this episode. But what'd you guys think of that? I know it was subbed, but
I don't know-
it's
I
like
don't
the
know
whole
what-
vibe.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't remember like the little hip hop rap freestyle verse?
It has like the transition where it shows like the kid on the bridge and then it has like the little mixtape and stuff. In the background, they had the
Oh yeah.
soundtrack with like the rap lyrics.
Am I correct in
Never
thinking that was just a younger version of Junk Dong? Because it looked like he had the same like goggles.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I thought about that too, but I'm pretty sure it's just a random dude.
I
okay.
remember the kid with the goggles, and I thought the same thing. Was this Junk Talk as a kid? But I have no idea what rap you're talking about.
It was just the background noise while all that stuff was going on. It fits the theme of the show,
Yeah, I think it was like a younger Japanese kid rapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to see
think
what you
that's
guys thought into like that whole like aesthetic, like of, I don't know, the show, and it's I don't know.
Well,
You don't get to see that too often with other anime.
We
So I
potentially will
thought it
see
was
another rap section coming up.
Exactly.
Hey,
So,
bro, spoilers, man.
No, it's foreshadowing. I said
so
might.
try to,
Yeah,
Just
you can't just say, yeah, this character might die.
Joe might get his ass kicked.
yeah.
It's not foreshadowing. There's just
Actually,
spoilers.
season two,
Yeah.
season 2, Joe actually had a kid with Owner.
With
Fast
Yuri.
forward like 20 years, and this is Joe Jr. the Nomad,
Yeah.
with the beard and everything for season 2. So
Joe
pretty
and
much.
Yuri had a kid.
Yeah.
Hell
Well,
And then
The-
when the baby was on the table, Yuri's just like, "What is your name?" And then the kid's just like,
Don't give names to stray dogs.
yeah.
But I feel like we should move along.
Yeah, I'm just
so
gonna fast forward through the rest of this episode. Like they have another fight. Joe's like, I'm gonna win, right? And the owner's like, the manager's like, nope. He's like, you want to bet, bitch? Walks over, fucking single one hit KOs the other guy.
yeah,
walks away.
yeah, the whole
He's like, yeah, I'm
fight.
serious, bitch.
Joe had to throw the fight, but beforehand he asked Handlebar Mustache, "Hey, I want to go to Megalovania. I want to fight Yuri again. Do this one thing." And then he's just like, "Dude, get real. You're a stray dog. That is not your ring. You belong in the underground throwing fights. That's how we live. That's how we survive." That's him trying to keep Joe in their sense of reality. But Joe's just like, "Fuck that. You've never done anything except just use me." So he just knocks out the opponent, and that gets him in trouble with like the ringleader of
Yeah,
that whole
like the
gambling
whole-
thing.
The whole underground ring is orchestrated by this one, head honcho guy. And since
The suit.
Joe didn't throw the fight like he was supposed to, Ambu Black Ops gets caught. And he eventually has to go see this head honcho. He's like making some stew. He's like, yeah, you gotta pay for this. Throws him a knife. He's like, give me your other eye.
Well, this whole
And while you're
time
at it-
too, you hear a
and while
guy
you're at it-
screaming in the background because he's getting
Yeah.
tortured. So
Yep,
that is very tense.
And he's like, while you're at it, here, eat this like bone soup shit.
Bone broth. Yeah.
Yeah, and fucking gives it to him.
You
Yeah.
get
He's
the
like-
sense that he did not make it with animal bones.
That dude's
Exactly.
tattoo is so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
what was it, like a dragon or something?
Yeah,
Just like scales. Yeah.
So then Ambu is no longer Black Ops and gets scared out of his mind. He's like, oh, I'm gonna fucking reach for this, but hey, we're gonna fucking win Megalovania. Here you go.
So this was like his ultimate gamble, pretty much.
Yep.
He's like, it's either gambling, going to Megalovania or losing his other eye because he's already missing one eye. So like Sans, right? Dude, it's all coming together, bro. This is Sans' origins.
Bro.
Wow.
So Nanbu, like,
And he's
tells
short and
Joe-
stout too.
He
Mhm.
tells Joe, he's like, all right. Joe's like, well, I don't have a fucking ID. He's like, don't worry, I got you, fam. This guy made me some good soup. We're gonna go see him. Like, they go back. Then you have the fucking hacker in the room with his head honcho. He fucking spoofs an ID, puts Joe's face, and they're like, what's his name? And then the
was-
hacker's like, what's his name? To the
That's
boss. And then the boss is
stupid.
like, I don't fucking know what's his name. And then Nanbu's like, I don't fucking
I don't know,
dude,
what's your
what's your
fucking
name?
Hey, bro, it's your name. Why don't you pick it already? And he's just
And then
like,
he's like, they don't give names to stray dogs.
and then yeah, there's like, fuck it, call him Joe. Just
No,
Joe.
Yeah, this was the stupidest
Yeah.
thing, dude.
Not
They're
even
like,
a last name or any familial name. Nothing. Just Joe.
dude, yeah,
Well,
it
okay.
was so stupid because they were all like, Joe.
Well, do you understand
No.
what the meaning
That's
of that
true.
name is? They
Average
forced out-
Joe.
Yeah, they
Joe
forced it out
Mama.
earlier. He was driving past the thing, and he's like, "Average Joe,"
Yeah.
and the sign was Megalovania, fucking Sans, whatever the fuck, is not a ring for the average Joe. So he's like, "All right, my name's gonna be Joe," but I
Yeah.
think it was stupid. On his fucking government ID, it just says Joe.
Yeah, that's what throws me off. It is kind of messed up too that in the scene before, the guy that's getting tortured, that's the ID that they're taking from now. They're overriding
Mhm.
his like
Mhm.
likeliness in replace of Joe. So
Mhm.
that was pretty messed up, but it just shows the power of these guys.
Yeah.
But then
now
now
he can register.
Handlebar, Handlebar Mustache goes and registers Joe for Megalovania, and he's like, what, 257 or 157
257. He's dead
in the
last.
ranking? Yeah, so starting for the bottom, like the true
here.
underdog story, like the show is. But so then Handlebar's able to get him a couple fights, but before they get to the fights, he needs to train a little bit and they need to upgrade his gear, which they do. But then it gets completely torched because Handlebar completely fucks it up on the ship that they move to. And then we're introduced to the like little children
These group
thieves.
of kids, yeah. They go on like a mission to steal some cameras or some
Yeah.
shit.
I love that archetype of I love the group of kids that are thieves. I love that archetype in fiction.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
So they succeed in their mission. They steal
They're
a couple
smart, man.
cameras.
God damn.
They go back to like this shop
So
that they
fun.
stole to sell these cameras, which coincidentally is the shop that Joe and Handlebar
Yeah.
are actually
and-
like repairing the ship.
Okay, fucking stop. We gotta stop like feeding into Trav's insanity, man.
What do you mean?
Call him Nanbu. Call him his fucking name.
His name's Handlebar Mustache. I don't know what to tell you.
Call of Duty Black Ops Nanbu Handlebar
Okay.
Mustache Trainer Man.
So then Eye Patch sees a
I choose
fucking megalo shit fucking gear.
He takes a
the
megalo
doorway.
shit in the Megalobox. Gotcha.
Yep, he sees the gear in the fucking doorway. He's like, I want it. And Joe's like,
It's like
"You
this,
gonna get
like
it?"
kind of the same model. It's like an earlier model of what Yuri
it's like a
has.
prototype or some shit.
It's from the
Yeah.
same
Cool.
company that Yuri's got his, so that's like the top end shit. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
So
super
they can't fucking
expensive.
afford that.
but they just upgrade Joe's normal equipment to be, I guess, it hits harder,
Slightly
pretty
better.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
But The one weird thing that I don't know if you guys saw, the red candy. That's like straight drugs.
It's just straight up like heroin.
It's
Yeah.
straight up drugs.
That's crazy, dude. In
And
this
it's
world,
feeding
like,
And the way
These
they
kids are so
describe it too
addicted.
is that's literally how they describe it too, is that they're like, yeah, the kids use this to escape the harsh realities of this, hard life or whatever. And it's like, oh, so it's straight up drugs then. It's not
it
candy.
is.
It's
That's what
straight
it
up
is.
drugs.
It's just drugs.
That went straight over my head. I didn't even realize.
No, that candy is
Really?
drugs. Yeah.
I was not paying attention to
That's
that.
why
They call it candy, but then they literally say that they're like, yeah, they use this to get through the harsh reality of life and how tough it can be.
you can
That's
see
that's what I
well,
that's what I didn't catch.
Well, and then you saw like the shot of the kids on the couch. They were completely like
there was
bonked
like,
out. They're like,
oh.
oh.
Yeah,
And
then like
what's the main kid's
that's why-
name?
that's why,
Sachiko or whatever.
Sideshow, yeah, or something like that.
it's
Yeah.
Sachio.
That's why he was
He's
so
not gonna
mad.
call him that.
That's why he was so mad because he didn't get
Trav's
his.
thinking of a fucking name right now.
Yeah.
All right,
He's like,
Trav, you're on the
just
spot.
like-
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
He
Trav,
called him
it's all you.
Sachiko. Mitch tried to correct him. Trav's already like, I'm not calling him that.
Everyone, just let Trav think here.
His name's Sachiko. What are you guys talking about?
His name is Sideshow, isn't it?
Sachio.
It doesn't matter anymore. Trav has already decided what his name is.
I thought it
It's
was
Sachio.
So
it
Sushi
was-
definitely gets angry about not getting
you
his
can't
fix.
call him sushi because don't you call? No, you call it Tengen tofu. Never.
Yeah, boom, different names.
What about the
different
guy?
lore.
What about the guy who doesn't usually talk in JJK? What did he call? Did you call him Sushi?
Salmon?
Salmon? Oh fuck.
Salmon
Okay,
guy.
well,
Boom.
Trav has a
Different
fucking encyclopedia of all
lore.
his
Let's
nicknames
go,
in his head.
baby. I have a board out off screen here that I'm just throwing like a dart at. But yeah, so Sushi gets mad, and then overhears Handlebar Mustache and Joe talking about going to Megalovania, and he really wants to go for some reason.
Wait,
But-
there's like this whole thing where like Sachio gets pissed off because he didn't get enough drugs, and so the owner like fucking pulls a knife on this kid.
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, it really
They
doesn't.
fucked up this kid, bro. They fuck him
Yeah.
up in the next episode or later in this episode. I'm like, holy shit, they're trying to fucking
Yeah,
crush him in
I mean,
half.
and then Joe defends him, but then there's like, hey, we ain't got no beef, right? Because the bodyguard to the place has like he's not wearing the standard equipment for megaloboxing. He's not wearing the gloves. He's wearing just
Gloves.
fucking iron.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that fight gets pretty much put on hold for later.
Yeah, the reason why I brought that up is because Joe like steps in, he like makes himself completely vulnerable. He gets slashed with the knife, and eventually when they go back to like their little hub, their base of operations, Nambu's like, yo, you just let your fucking guard down. Like you stood up to this guy, but like you showed that you aren't as good as you think. Like you got slashed. You should have done better. And then they start training, right? They start
Wow.
training from that point on.
Yeah, they start training and the kids watch, and then Sushi's just, really wants to go to Megalovania, but then Joe's just like, you're no use to us. You do not have any benefit to us whatsoever. So then Sushi's like, bitch, please. And he goes to steal the gear from the shop, the ones they couldn't afford. He gets caught. The other kids recruit Joe and Handlebar to save him. And then, Joe gets the gear, puts it on, fights the bodyguard, and then Sushi, calls the right shot for the counter. Joe knocks out the bodyguard, but then in that time, the gear that Joe got busted because the bodyguard wasn't fighting with standard megaloboxing equipment. It was iron, not gloves.
Yeah.
So all that was a waste of time. Joe still didn't have a gear for the fight.
Skipped over the fact that fucking like 400-pound bodyguard was punching the face of a little kid with an iron glove. Just bop, bop,
Yeah,
bop.
and then the old
And then he
just
fucking
straight up
squeezes
grabbed
him and just fucking
Yeah.
And you
and
see
his
the
fucking
blood
blood
spurting.
squirting from
Yeah,
his fucking
but did
face.
that really affect Sushi? He's still smart as shit.
Yeah, you know why it did? Because again, he fucking crashed the fucking shit out of his bike.
Yeah,
he flies it through the window, dude.
Yeah.
He is I don't know how he must either have a million bikes or this shit's indestructible.
Just built
Yeah.
different.
Well, he just takes it back to the freaking auto shop every time.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the guy's gonna be like, dude, how many times do you want me to fucking fix your bike in a week?
Well, I'm just. We should probably get a move on. We're already at 45,
Yeah, I mean,
and
it's
we're
the
still on
episode.
like episode like 2 or 3.
Well, the last
This
three
is
episodes.
4. What do you mean?
This was
No,
3.
this is 3. This is the end.
Oh,
That's the end of
Well, we
3.
gotta
Like,
talk about the whole military stuff still.
yeah, like Sachio, he calls the shots. He succeeds. He proves his worth. He joins the party. So, now there's 3 people.
now we have the squad fomented here. So
They
we have
form Team Nowhere.
Team Nowhere. It's Joe Handlebar Mustache as the coach, trainer, whatever, and then Sushi as the hype man, and he's kind of like the foil that keeps everyone grounded in their like goals, pretty much.
I'm calling it right now. He's gonna be like the technician, and he's gonna build Joe a pair of gear that's gonna actually work and be like really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
That would be true. Possibly. Except for the fact that now they run with the idea that Joe is gearless Joe.
Until his 4th fight. It's only the first 3 fights he's gonna be gearless. Guy, okay? He's gonna wear gear eventually.
Well,
All right.
Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, I
I
thought.
was gonna say we see his 4th fight and he's still gearless.
We see his 4th fight
against
That's
military
the
guy.
last one that we watched. Yeah.
too.
So
But yeah, they say that eventually he'll have gear, and so I hope that that's true, because if he continues to not have gear, and if he continues to stand a chance against these other people, then it's just unrealistic.
So in this
It would-
whole
hopefully
show
eventually
that's
he does.
based on people fighting or boxing with like mechanical arms and shit, they decided our main character, his gimmick is going to be he doesn't megalobox normally. He just boxes
He just
like a
boxes.
filthy casual.
Yeah, because because the whole reason in world for that is because the manager's like, we need a reason for people to start talking about you, and we need a reason for people to actually accept your fights because you're the lowest ranked, so no one's gonna accept you if you're just.
You know
normal.
what? That's I guess
It's
it's a
very smart, very
it's-
smart. Yeah.
It's good, but Jesus, Joe. That's a lot of punches you're taking against metal arms.
I fucking hated his first fight. I thought it was so stupid. It
Oh.
completely was
He
against.
fights
his
like this
character.
man shark guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the entire time, he's shaking, and the manager's like, "Okay, it's okay to be nervous." And Joe's like, "I'm not nervous. I'm excited." And then he gets punched once. He's like, and then for fucking 3 rounds, he just like, "I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I'm so scared."
keeps
He's like
running
running
away.
around the fucking ring, right?
Yeah, and then Sacho was like, "Bro, stop being a pussy." And Joe's like, "I got you, bro," and then knocks him out. I was like, "This is fucking dumb. That was such a stupid fight. So stupid."
I thought originally they were going to have the shark guy foul himself out, because like they showed like him getting an initial foul, and like he has a track record of getting disqualified. So I thought that's how they were gonna win. But no, they just completely gave him a foul, and then Sushi's just like, "Hey,
Well,
stop being a bitch."
They
Use
explained
the
why.
power of friendship and beat him.
They explained why he couldn't foul anymore, because his coach was like, "Bro, they said if you get kicked out of one more fight, you're gonna be banned from the tournament, so you can't get fouled anymore." So
Yeah,
he's
but
like, "Okay."
I thought they were gonna use that, and
Yeah.
Joe was gonna like
Yeah.
anger him,
Me
and
too.
because like
Yeah.
the worst enemy for that shark guy was his temper. So I thought they were gonna use that as an advantage, but ultimately
This
it
shit was fucking crazy to me though, because I like in some fights there's refs in the ring, and some fights there's no fucking refs to be seen. This fight, fucking shark dude picks Joe up and slams him on his head, and then there's like
that's not a foul.
and then he starts punching him, and then they're like, "Okay, now you need to stop." Bitch, what? It's fucking boxing. You grab someone, the ref's supposed to break it up.
Yeah,
What the fuck's
I know.
going on, man?
Mitch, this isn't boxing. This is megaloboxing.
So megaloboxing,
Yeah,
you
come
can just
The
smack-
ring
you can just
determines
fucking-
when someone is on the ground.
you can just fucking suplex someone on their back of their head and start beating them, and then the ref just
Yeah, he's
decides
not wearing
to-
gear. It's not against the rules.
Yeah. So I mean, Joe ends up pulling the win here. So that's
Then
his first win. There's 5 total fights. 3 of them they're going to use to boost the reputation, and then 2 are going to be like legit fights. I mean, they're all legit fights, but whatever. The next 2 fights, they just fast forward.
They just did like a
They're like,
little
yeah, they
time
happened.
skip, you know.
Yeah.
Good music
Oh.
and a lot of good like newspaper clippings and like all the poses with everyone. It was cool, but I gotta say I am really disappointed that we don't get to see those fights because
Yeah, it's like Joe, you're gonna have 5 fights to prove yourself, and we're not gonna see 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I didn't.
It's not important.
You know,
And
I would
here
love to
we-
see her. Joe conquers fear, and I want to see what else he could potentially conquer with those 2 other fights. But or at least just punch him out.
Yeah. But at this episode, like after they showed that he like won those 3 fights, so technically he's undefeated. Then they reveal, yeah, Yuri's number 1, PP is number 2, and they set up the 4th fight. They're like, yeah, someone volunteered to fight him now. It's like the number 17 dude, and then we find out it's Nambu's former pupil.
Mm-hmm. Dude, fucking
Kakashi.
crazy backstory, man. That shit was wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like Aragaki is his name. He was Nanbu's disciple back when he actually had his own gym, and then eventually that guy got sent to war. Like he decided to go fight in the war.
Well,
and
he didn't decide. He was in the reserves, and then they.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, he was in the reserves, and they called him up. Like, yeah, we need more people to
They
fight.
probably didn't give most
They didn't give him a
people
choice.
in the slums the choice, really. He's pretty much just dragged out there.
Yeah,
makes sense. And we get kind of piece it together. They show a flashback. He like was exploded point blank, and he lost his legs. He burns like half his face, and then he was reported KIA to everyone like back home. So Nambu's like, all right, I guess I'm done. Closes his gym. He actually wasn't dead. Spoiler. But now he kind of has like this vendetta against Nambu because he's like, is that all it took for you to like give up on me? Is just being told that I died? You're gonna believe that? Really?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
When Nambu went to the gym to see if he could talk to him, and the trainer was like, "What? You're just gonna listen to the military and the government and say he's dead, not do any like further investigation?" I was like, yeah. The fuck you mean? What the fuck you mean?
Yeah.
If I had a friend that went to war and I got told by the military, yeah, he's dead, I'm like, oh shit, he's dead. Okay, I wouldn't be like,
and then
I think you're lying.
And I'm
to
sure
me.
Handlebar lost his gym because he's shitty with money, and eventually he just lost the business, and now he had to go to the underground ring.
He's shitty with money, and whatever his name, Butterfly, was his only prize fighter, and he's the only one that was getting the gym money. So once he left, there was no way to get money anymore.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Just clicked fucking Butterfly.
Well, he has the butterfly tattoo, and like every time you see a flashback, you see the butterfly.
Well, it's just the butterfly is the one that set off the bomb. That's why it landed on the bomb and blew it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you flip the dude over and then he fucking set off?
Pay attention to the.
Well,
I didn't know a butterfly can set off a fucking bomb, dude.
Or the butterfly landed on the bomb.
I think it's just symbolic of like his life or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I think. Whatever.
There's some sort of like symbolism there, I guess, but I'm not that smart to notice it or connect the dots.
Why did you?
Yeah. So I mean, like,
long to say that.
Because my brain works sometimes, and then it was like, Trav, think of a word to fucking say here, dude. I need you. Come on. Failed me there.
Yeah, so I mean, like, he's pissed because Nambu didn't wait. He believed all whatever the government told him.
God forbid.
Aragaki got a new trainer. Now he went MLG. So now he just wants to destroy Joe because he's the new pupil.
So did Handlebar Mustache ever figure out about Butterfly surviving, or did he just figure it out when
he just learned it then?
Like how does he not like watch like the TV and it's like, hey, Butterfly here is rank 17 now, 17. And then he could just be like at the bar like, what?
Because it's all underground what he did. I don't think he even.
They still got the news. They still heard about Megalovania and shit. So
did I hear?
Sushi has like all the stats.
Yeah, when Sachio was looking at his stats, did I hear correctly that when he was a fighter under Nanbu, he was like ranked like 4th in the world? Like
I don't remember. High up? I don't remember.
I think that they just said that he was very much on the track to becoming the champion or something. Yeah,
I do not remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it
So
was.
then Butterfly's like whole vendetta now is that he hates Handlebar Mustache, and he's just like, I'm gonna completely destroy Joe.
Bro,
What?
he was
I'm going
such
to fuck him up. I'm gonna kill him.
he was such a hard antagonist to feel like bad, like to feel angry at. It's like I don't feel angry for this guy. Like look at all the shit he's been through, and especially the scene where they show him trying to kill himself. I was
Yeah,
like,
he's got the gun in the mouth,
I
and
was
like
I was like,
the voice actors just does an
It's a good
amazing
job, yeah.
job of like representing like just the panic
I
and
was like,
stuff in that
like,
situation. That was like Jesus.
the bigger part of me was rooting for this guy to beat Joe. I was like, I kind of want this guy to win. But
Dude, do they like what happens like before? Pretty much, they're just like, I'm gonna destroy your pupil and stuff, and Joe talks shit to him too, on the side of the road. He's just like, huh, you're gonna destroy me, bitch, little dumb, little legless dumb stupid
Well,
bitch.
The handlebar mustache Nambu Black Ops officer core trainer man, he tries to convince Joe to just forfeit the fight or just to not do the fight without explaining to Joe like who this person is or why he wants it to happen. And then when Joe like figures it out or realizes why he wants to do it, he just is like more passionate about not giving up the fight and still going through with it.
Yeah, that definitely seems like Joe's and Handlebar Mustache's relationship.
Yeah.
Handlebar says, "Stay
Handlebar's
down." Joe's just
he's
like,
trying to
"I'm gonna get
protect
back up,
Joe,
bitch."
but Joe wants to like defend his honor or something. So they're like, in a way, they're working against each other when really they should be working together.
And the only way they could prep against Butterfly is just hammering in the basics that Handlebar Mustache has shown Joe. So, and Joe wants to beat Butterfly by using Handlebar Mustache's techniques or form, just to be the
50-50.
better student, I guess. Yeah. 50,
Yeah,
split it even, 50-50, split it even, 50-50. He was saying that like the entire time in the ring.
bro, another thing I just remembered about what the entire time I was watching this fight, I couldn't stop thinking about, because every time they showed the clock, it said limitless rounds. I was like, are you fucking serious? These people could fight for like 50 rounds.
Yeah.
What the fuck is
If
wrong?
they could last, if they can actually last that
Still
long.
knockout or TKO. So
As a normal professional boxing match is 12 rounds. I'm like, you're gonna fight for limitless rounds? What the fuck is wrong with you people?
they probably don't last too many rounds because of the, robotic limbs beating
Yeah.
the shit out of people.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think the other thing that happened a lot in this fight, and obviously we saw it earlier with Joe holding back one of his punches, is like seeing the clock hit 0 and the horn going off and people's punches stopping right before they hit
Dude,
somebody.
such a
I have never
awesome
watched
fight.
boxing, and I know Mitch, you like actually did wrestling and stuff, but like I gotta assume that if somebody calls time, you don't literally stop the same fucking second. Like if you're already got the momentum, your punch is still happening. You're still gonna punch them.
It depends depends where you are. Like sometimes it happens, sometimes they do pull a punch. But like a lot of times you'll see the boxer get like that last little cheap shot in.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. If
It's
they tell you
used
to
for
stop when you're
dramatic
already in the middle
flair.
of swinging your punch, then you're just gonna go.
You don't
through
know
with
the
it.
rules of Megalobox. Maybe they stopped their cybernetics.
Well,
Yeah,
guess what? Joe is in megaloboxing.
He's a
Trav. Get
robot.
shit on.
He's not a real
You're
person.
an
Oh
idiot.
shit! Spoiler. Sorry.
he definitely is not a robot because he's fucking bleeding a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Every
Food
fight he
coloring
has,
plus some oil. Okay.
every fight he has is just every time
Yeah.
every time his mouth guard falls out, it's just like
God, you never watched Terminator, dude?
Shut up, dude.
This is Megalobox.
I mean, we already talked about the fight. Like, Joe was playing mind games, split it 50-50. He kept getting punched, split it 50-50. 50-50. 50-50.
50-50.
Split that bitch. Split a check.
You want to?
Let me hug
I can Venmo you later. 50-50.
Let me hug you.
Right, left.
50-50.
50-50.
Yeah. Well, and
I
after
fucking hated. I hated the way they animated his footwork too. Like when he was getting all intense, like doing little antics. Like, that's not what boxers do in the ring, dude. That's
dude,
not
he just
at all.
moves. He just moves, man.
But he was like, I was like, what the fuck?
I'm
is
pretty sure he was
going on?
making that noise too.
Yeah.
There was a lot of reasons, like a lot more that they could have done with this fight. Like, yeah, limitless rounds, they probably could have gone like 5 more rounds. But like, what was it, by like the 4th round or some shit? By like the fourth round or whatever. Yeah, but it's anime, dude. They're fucking whatever, you know. It's not
I
real.
like realism in my shows, man.
Yeah, just like the footwork
Fucking
and the
Naruto,
fucking
okay.
head-ass
What?
sprint to the other boxer.
Fucking ninja wearing orange jumpsuit.
But
That's realistic, dude.
Aragaki, he clearly had the upper hand. Like, I think he was definitely better in this fight.
Yeah,
Well,
but he just
the thing with Butterfly is that he always like knocks out his opponent like the first round because he can't last multiple rounds because of his prosthetic legs. They get worn down after a while, and it got to a point with the fight with Joe, it went on too long where it was actually endangering his ability to walk for the rest of his life. So after they had like the whole dramatic flare, like both fists like at each other's face, you know, Butterfly didn't stand back up. That was it. He quit. He threw in the towel. So Joe got the dub from that.
A bit of like Aragaki not being able, like his legs hurting and him concerned for himself and his legs, and he kept saying like that bit that I guess Nambu had said about like you're always striving towards tomorrow or something like that. So I want to think that because at one point it seemed like Joe and Aragaki shared like a smile together, like they were like recognizing that they're both legit and good fighters. So I think that he like saw Joe was like a good fighter and he like wanted him to succeed, and so he like forfeited so that like Joe could continue to succeed as well.
At that point too, Butterfly, you know, the whole reason he was fighting that fight is because he wanted to move on from Handlebar and his past and stuff and look towards the future. So after that dramatic like flare there at the end, they both, you know, realized they were just enjoying the fight, and Butterfly realizes he can move on, and well, not literally, but you know, it was a good spot to end the fight. You know, there's really nothing else he wanted to fight for. So
I really like the way they handle his prosthetics too, because I hate it when shows are like, oh, guy loses his legs, he gets prosthetics, now he's like some superhuman. It's just not how it works, man. Like it's hard to walk on legs that aren't yours. It's hard to move on legs that aren't yours, that you don't have control.
They did say that it gave him a little bit of an advantage with the springs in the prosthetic, allowing him to make counters quicker. But obviously, we saw by the end of the fight that if he has to fight for a long time, that he does not have the ability.
The main consequence
to,
too of his prosthetics is that his gear has to be lighter weight. Like his lightweight his lightweight gear really doesn't do much. It probably just makes him faster. But the power is pretty much all in his muscle.
Yeah.
But all around, I thought it was a really cool fight. Butterfly was, I didn't know how to feel about him, but like the more they kept on about it, the more I liked him. But at the same time, I kept forgetting, oh shit, he's not the main character. Joe is. What the hell's Joe doing in the show?
Yeah, it was very difficult to root for Joe during this fight.
Well, it's like Joe just kind of shows up because it wasn't even like drama between him and Butterfly. It was the drama was between Butterfly and Handlebar.
It was setting up Nambu's character and Nambu's backstory to like give Nambu that sympathetic side of him. So
and really, I don't think he changed at all from this fight.
Are you talking about Joe?
Nambu.
Joe doesn't.
Oh, Nanbu. Yeah.
Pretty sure Joe doesn't change his entire show. Maybe I don't remember.
I don't know. But there's some nice closure, like Nanbu and Aragaki make up all as well. Aragaki kept these tickets that Nambu gave him before he went to the war. That was something about what was it, like a meal or something?
Dog race.
So Nambu wanted to buy Aragaki a nice dinner before he went to the military. So he bet on a dog. He didn't have the cash, so he bet on a dog race to see if he could win the money, but he lost it. So he was like, instead of giving you this dinner, I'll give you this because it's the thought that counts, right? Like I wanted to buy you this, but I lost my money on this, so here,
It's a
take this instead.
memento reminding you that you always have a place here, you have a home to come back to. But
And
then that
that
ticket
ticket
stopped him from,
killing himself. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, because there were a lot of moments in there where it showed that he had a lot of like
PTSD.
emotional trauma, and he struggled with some of that. Really sad stuff. It built a lot of like sympathy towards his character.
Yeah,
I think they
like
did a good job
we're kind of
him.
sugarcoating over it right now, but it gets,
It's fucking dark, man.
he wakes up screaming and stuff, and the
PTSD,
scene is just, it's some it's some heavy stuff, man.
Shows you what actually happens to people when they go to war.
Mhm.
It's fucked up shit, man.
Yeah. But the episode ends with them recapping who's the first spot, who's the second spot, and then they reveal, all right, now we got the third person.
Pure
It's like
blood
some
American.
Glenn like Tiger King guy.
This shit is
And-
fucking absurd to me. Apparently, there's just no weight class in Megalobox. Fucking massive, man. It's like 500 pounds.
They said it. They're looking for the
they say
best of
something
the
about
best. They don't
that.
give a shit how
Yeah.
big they are.
Yeah, they say something about that at the very end. They say even though megaloboxing is typically like a medium weight thing, even and he's heavier set or whatever, that he's still done a great job at fighting and he's still one of the best. So they do touch on that. They do say that it's typically a mid-weight or whatever thing.
Yeah. So that brings it to the end of the first 6 episodes, guys. What are your thoughts for now? What you want from the anime?
Like I was saying, I understand the whole gearless gimmick and why they needed to do it to get farther and stuff, but I obviously hope that doesn't continue forever, because if they want me to ever believe that he succeeds at fighting Yuri without any gear and he failed at it with his shitty gear, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, especially since they haven't really showed him doing like super intense training. It's kind of just like touching up on the skills he already had. Like if they like the story for me is pretty predictable. He's gonna make it to Megalovania. He's gonna fucking kill Sans and then save the underworld. What the fuck it's called? No, he's gonna make the tournament. He's gonna win the tournament. Like it's pretty. He's either gonna win a tournament or he's gonna lose to Yuri and then set up season 2. If he gets to the tournament and doesn't fight with the fucking gear and he beats the big guy without the gear, I'm like, all right, it's dumb.
All right.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
He's gonna be depends on what bracket he's in.
But
So-
I guess
no, they've already said
yeah.
said it's gonna be 1 versus 2 and 3 versus 4, which makes no sense. It should be 1 versus 4 and 2 versus 3, but
that's not dramatic.
yeah, because they have to save Yuri versus Joe for the final.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. But yeah, I mean, so far so good for the rewatch for me. I'm
yeah, no, it's very good. There's
loving this show.
There's some goofy things I don't like
My
some of the
my biggest
animating and
gripe
botched
is
it,
that
but-
Joe isn't like the strongest protagonist. He's just kind of there, to move the story forward. I
like that 'cause I don't like the protagonists that are always the strongest guy in the world.
I don't want him to be the strongest,
Just
but
because
it's
the
like
dude.
he just wants to like fight, and all he wants to do is fight Yuri. Like all the other like development goes towards like Handlebar and all that stuff, which is kind of throwing me off for this like underdog story. It's my only gripe so far. I don't really remember if anything changes in future episodes, but I guess we'll have to see.
My only gripe so far is some of the weird like animation choices they make during the boxing matches, and like just the goofy shit they do.
You only boxers running at each other?
No, it's
Oh.
fucking dumb.
Oh, well, just wait.
Hey, you're in for a surprise, Mitch.
All right. Got anything else to say, Yusuf, or are we ready to wrap
No.
her up?
I don't think so. I don't have anything else to say.
All right.
was
So with
good.
that, we are going to be ending this episode of This Episode Podcast. So whoever hung out, thanks for hanging out. We appreciate it. And yeah, I'm sure Mitch is going to practice up on his boxing skills afterwards. But for now, see ya.
On the next episode of This Episode, Trav, Josh, Mitch, and Yusuf discuss episodes 1 through 4 of Love After World Domination. If you made it this far, make our relationship official by dropping a like, hitting that subscribe button, and ringing that bell to turn on notifications so you won't miss it when new episodes go live. And if you want to go the extra mile for our love, follow us on Spotify at This Episode Podcast. Or you can watch us live every Monday night at twitch.tv/DutchReed. Thanks for watching. Can we hold hands now?